Now that we're trading into there, I like that. So let's see. We could just get stopped out. And if we get stopped out, then we know that this is just either going nowhere or is continuing lower. But I took it on the basis that this may be a propulsion block trading into here. So we'd need to see this close above the midpoint of this here. Um, but right now it just looks like we may get stopped out. Not the best price action at all. And 13 seconds left. So yeah, I would think it would make the most sense for the next candle to open and just come down because we've already closed. We're about to close below the midpoint of this here. So would make sense for this one to come up a little bit and then just come right down through. And if that were to happen, I would think that we are going to start to see some more price action. Quiet. Enough. Enough. You know it's the mailman. You've seen him a million times. Let him be. So we got to watch this current candle. If it closes up there, could be an immediate rebalance. I don't love this price delivery though. Dude. Hey. Leave it. It's the mailman. Okay? Look, he's leaving, bud. No, let's look. Look. Good quiet. Oh, hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. Good quiet. So I still don't like this delivery. It looks pretty gnarly, in my opinion. Um, it's moved a bit now, but I still don't love it. I don't know if we would go for it now, but I still want to see these be taken at some point. All right, so this candle should displace higher. If it doesn't displace higher, then we know it's not really following the code, and we'll get stopped out pretty rapidly. But we should want to see this start to spool higher, like it's on a mission. Um, and that should run price through these relative equal highs up here. It's a bit slow right now. Okay, so just move the stop there. We're gonna leave it there. Um, and see we're coming down, so very slow. It's hard to read this because this is non-farm payroll price action, so it's a little outside of the norm. I would expect this current candle to race up, um, or this very candle here, but non-farm payroll. you kind of just get slow, trashy price action, and sometimes it's fast and sideways. So it's not all. It's never the best, really. Monday and Tuesday were kind of treats for having better price action this week. Can move this up just a little bit below this order block. We should see price start to displace more quickly. Again, it's non-farmers payroll week, but generally we should want to see this candle trade into this one about 25% and then start to move up quickly. So we just touched that first presented fair value gap, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, we just went inside of it. So we can expect price to want to come down a little bit here because it did that. It touched that inefficiency. So we could expect to see price slow down just a little bit. But ideally, if we want to see it continue to run out these relative equal highs up here, which looks super tasty, we want to see price close at least above the midpoint of this and preferably above it altogether. I'm gonna move this up a little bit more just because we've we have this much of a gain, so I think it's safe to not safe. I think it's smart to play it safe and take some of the profit off here. Again, using one contract, it's non-farmers payroll week, so we have to do what we can. Um, so got to move the contract up rather than taking off contracts like we would do if we had multiple on. So we closed above here. We should want to see price come down here a little bit. We have a volume imbalance right here. So ideally, I'd like to see this candle close down a little bit or just close in this area, not much higher. Um, and then see the next candle come down a little bit and then start to shoot higher. That's what I'd like to see ideally. Now I don't love that it's doing that because this tells me we're probably in a rush to take these highs out. But we don't. Oh, you know what? No, never mind. There's a volume imbalance over here, but not. No, we do have one right here. So we should want to trade into this and then push higher. That's what I'd like to see. I just moved my stop to the bottom quadrant of this fair value gap here. So we've got a volume imbalance here too. I would love to see price trade into this before moving higher. Because that to me would say, okay, we want to move higher right now, very quickly. But if we don't touch this soon, that makes me think we'll either go sideways or we'll push up, but then turn around and end up coming back down. All right, so I'd like to see this one just push into here and then turn around and keep it moving. Okay, so we just pushed into there. So I'd ideally like to see this one just keep moving higher now. A little bit slow here. So we gotta watch this current candle. Ideally, to think that we're going to remain going higher for longer, I'd want to see this close up in this area. It doesn't have to close above these, but I'd like to see it close up here. Then the next one trade into it a little bit and move higher. If we don't see that right now, we'll be sideways for a little bit, or a reverse course. So I'd like to see it close up in this area and the next candle trade down into it. Closing down here makes it a little fishy. So if we did close down here, we'd probably go sideways. But let's see. So we closed right in between where I was thinking. So kind of a toss up. If this candle here isn't pretty strong and go through here at least, then we'll head sideways. Now, if this candle can close somewhere in this area, like up here, around here, then we should see the next one come down and then start to run up through here pretty quickly. Honey, you're familiar like my mirror years ago. I saw just to sit outside your door. All right, so we should see this candle want to trade into here and then just rip higher and should run my stop, my sell stop up here. Let me just put this one tick below. All right, so we should get a pretty large displacement candle here. So low. Okay, I like that close. This one should run straight through now. If this candle doesn't run straight up through, I'm expecting it to go sideways, but I like the close there with this down close candle. We should just see displacement higher. Honestly, not sure what that was all about. Maybe to stop people out if they had their stop below this. So it looks like we're running into some inefficient delivery. Honestly, would have expected this candle to run higher or this current candle to run higher, but the fact that it's just sitting here right now kind of tells me that we're in some inefficient price delivery at the moment. Why do you have ice on the couch, buddy? All right, so we should want to see price run through there. I am gonna move my stop up now. So if we get stopped out, whatever. Um, but we should want to run these relative equal highs pretty quickly here. I'm trying to make this a better view. And I'll move it into the bottom quadrant here. Should want to see the current candle come down a bit, um, and then just race through. May get stopped out on it, um, but I think we have a good idea of where it wants to go, at least for the nearest buy side. And we're seeing some price discovery here. So this is where I probably want to take off my position, um, instead of being a perfectionist and wanting it to run my stop. But I've moved my stop, so I am hands off for now. We are pretty close to running those highs, so I do expect price to maybe go back and forth for a little bit just to discover price before running through it. Um, but around this area is usually where I struggle with taking the position off instead of wanting it to run the highs. I do struggle a little bit with that. All right. Should see a pretty big candle here. And we want to see this current candle minimally close above the midpoint of this one here. If it closes below the midpoint, I'll probably be stopped out. But if I'm not stopped out with it closing below the midpoint of this, I'll just go ahead and cut the trade myself. So there we go. We're stopped out. We ran that um, buy side liquidity. It's a very nice liquidity pool here. So it's just like super even, like very smooth. One, two, three, four. They're all just hanging there. So made sense for it to want to go here. I was definitely not sure with this non-farms payroll price action that we're seeing right here, but it did end up delivering there. So I'm gonna close up now, but pretty strong bearish delivery this morning. We could switch course or continue where we're going now and take out the midpoint from today's opening range. We could also just have wanted to run these and turn around, take out this sell side and continue lower. But that's it for this. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you found it insightful. Be good. Safe trading. Be safe.